12 Steps to Excellent Online Persuasion. If you want to learn how to persuade, then you'll find that it's fun and pretty straightforward. Online influence is something we use every second of every day. Even if you're not very good at it, you will be persuading people anyway because of your actions, or your inactions, words, or silence. Influence is about selling an idea or talking things through to get a point across, and if you think about it, even a corpse communicates the fact that it's dead by going still, cold and stiff. You can use influence to get your audience, and I mean that in the loosest terms, to do anything you want them to. So here are 12 easy steps that you can use to educate yourself how to persuade. Point 1. Ask nicely. I recently spoke to internationally famous author Dale Brackhag about the power of asking for what you want. So I put this as number 1 because it's the most important part of influence. I can't possibly recommend highly enough the simple act of asking for whatever it is that you're after. If you want to know how to persuade, you must master the art of asking. Having said that, you need to be polite and succinct. It's more tricky to deny someone if they request it politely. Remember your manners and use please and thank you. Remember that if someone gives you what you want, thank them for it. Online influence is slightly different here, however. Because you will not be in direct contact, except via email, website influence requires a more subtle take on etiquette. Make sure you encourage rather than tell your customer. Allow them to reach your conclusion on their own, rather than forcing it down their neck. Point 2. Give something of value away. It is a lot harder to refuse a request from someone when they have already done something for you. In influence, we call this reciprocity. Try to form a habit of generosity. Don't make yourself bankrupt, but offer things of value, perhaps an ebook or other digital product that is low cost for you to distribute. It will come back to you several times over. You need the value to be higher than what you ask for, at least in the mind of the customer. If you do that, you'll get massive success. But make sure that whatever you offer is not going to make you bankrupt. Check out your prospects. Ask them what they want, what they like and enjoy, and then produce a product or service to cater for that demand. Point 3. Don't be desperate. If you have the confidence to walk away when the answer is no, you're much more likely to make a sale. The reason is perceived confidence. All of these persuading factors are about perception. If you have the confidence to say to someone, "You're not who I'm looking for," or "I don't think this is right for you, you can't have it," what do you think happens in the mind of your prospect? Several things. Firstly, your authority goes up quickly. If you're not desperate, then you must be successful, and therefore the social proof aspect comes in and you instantly become more persuasive. It sounds crazy, but most people don't like being the first onto the bandwagon. By explaining that your prospect is not the normal kind of customer and is probably the wrong kind, you imply that you have other people who have bought it. Secondly, scarcity begins to play a part. If I say you can't have anything to eat today, you will start to feel hungry. Scarcity works in the same way, by making people desperate to have whatever they are not allowed. Encourage people to feel that they can't have it and they'll want it even more. Bear in mind point 1 here. You don't want to be rude, but you need to build scarcity to be effective, even if you say, "We only have 3 of these left." Point 4. Be honest. I draw your attention back to point 3 above, where I mentioned saying "we only have 3 of these left." I've seen this used on ebooks. Ebooks are digital and therefore are not limited in their number. What you could do is explain that the bundle package of 5 ebooks is only going to remain a bundle offer for 2 days, or the price will go up in a week, or you must buy now because if you leave the site and come back, it will be at the normal price, not at the end of the webinar price. Whatever you do, be honest. It's disarming. I know one guy who reviews gadgets and he's honest. If he thinks it's rubbish, he says so. Then he puts his affiliate link to the product anyway, and people sometimes buy from that link. Because he's honest, people trust him even if they buy a bad product. Don't expect people to believe that you're being really nice giving something away at rock bottom prices just because you want to do them a favor. Explain that you need to make money, and people respond to that. People are often gobsmacked when I've heard marketers explain that they want to pay for their road tax and so are putting on a special offer to get money in quickly. There's no issue with it, but bear in mind that it will take some of your authority and scarcity away if you do too much of the sales marketing. Think about how you can be honest and still build authority and scarcity. Point 5. Explain what the benefit is. Certainly in online influence, this doesn't have to be something tangible. In fact, the best products online are usually something that you can't measure very easily, but if you explain and emphasize the benefits to your prospects, then your sale is much more likely to persuade. Promise a benefit, focus on benefits rather than features, and when the sale comes in, make sure you deliver everything that was agreed. That's vital. 6. Gain referrals. Do you trust your friends more than you trust me? Of course. Why wouldn't you? A great method of influence is to utilize other people's influence over their contacts. Whenever you make a sale, do you leverage that properly by asking for referrals? By getting someone close to the prospect to recommend you, you're far more likely to persuade them. Point 7. Say, would not, could. Let's take an example. Would you make dinner, please, is a lot more persuasive than could you make dinner, please? A light touch is usually better. May I have a cookie is better than can I have a cookie? There are lots of ways that you can make suggestions lighter and more persuasive. Point 8. Ask permission. If you ask whether someone has time to listen to you, your request will indicate respect for their time, and the respect will build rapport and likability. If you are using online influence, try this technique on webinars by keeping to time. Don't wait for people to arrive. Start and end on time. Although some people may be late, those who have arrived on time will appreciate your good timekeeping as respect for their own time. Respect is something which is readily returned when requested, and is a great persuader. Point 9. Eliminate obstacles. You need to work out anything that might stop your prospect from becoming a customer. Eliminate anything that might stop them and then develop ways to eliminate them. Mention these objections in your marketing literature. For example, if you are asking for a large sum of money, you might want to mention that you have a monthly payment plan, or even that your prospect will easily make their money back as a result of their purchase. Point 10. Make it easy to buy from you. Use systems that people are familiar with. PayPal boosts trust, and most people in our research are more likely to buy from a website that uses a trusted system like PayPal over a more expensive, branded system. Point 11. Express appreciation for what people do already. People are more easily persuaded when they feel appreciated. Show your prospects respect and appreciation for their efforts. This will lead to rapport, because people tend to think that whatever it is they do is useful. By showing appreciation for your prospects' efforts. Point 12. Use mirroring. It is well known that mirroring in job interviews is a very effective way of gaining rapport and becoming more like the other person in order to become more persuasive. In online influence, this can be very tricky, which is why Mantia's mirroring software was created. It uses psychological principles to analyze and mirror text online and allow for better mirroring to build rapport. It's the only system of its kind in the world, and has seen increases in productivity of over 900% since its use. This can also be done manually, and while this takes longer, it can be very effective.